Good evening, dear friends. Deep Talks is welcoming a beautiful soul today evening, and after a long time, I'm sure the viewers who are waiting for our love, unconditional love, and the expectations of Deep Talks to throw in some experiences of beautiful souls walking on this planet are waiting for this conversation to happen this evening. It's with a beautiful soul from a beautiful, creative mind whom I am honored to welcome on Deep Talks virtual stage of reality on love with Srishti. And she, taking her time out, has actually bestowed on us the blessings to always feel so bright and better that she has awaited this evening even more than me. And I'm so very honored and glad to have Rupneet with us. And her introduction would come forward from none other than Srishti, who's a beautiful soul with Gurleen, working on this Deep Talks platform, which is gone global. And I'm so honored that all the guests who are there and the ones who will be watching this episode later, they will be ignited through their minds because love is an art and it's the month of love. Yes, my dear friends, month of love. And it could not be better to have someone who's actually creating love on the canvas. And I'm sure the brush is creating wonders everywhere she's moving. So let's have Srishti introducing none other than the beautiful soul, Rupneet.
Good evening and welcome everyone. It is my honor to introduce to you our guest for tonight, Ms. Rupneet Kaur, an artist by choice. Earlier, she worked as a HR manager in retail, education, and immigration sector. 3 years ago, she fled the big corporate life and chose nature and simplicity and never looked back. She currently is an upcycle artist who devotes her creativity and energy in reviving old materials and making art. She runs a brand called Sylvia's, her pet name. She also teaches art at NGOs. It's a joy to see people smile and heal while creating art. That being said, she wishes and believes in walk your talk and live with gratitude in your hearts. I would now like to request Gurleen ma'am to host the show, and I shall take a leave to be back and monitoring the conversation as a communication connect.
Thanks a lot, Srishti, for introducing Rupneet and welcome Rupneet to Deep Talks virtual stage of reality on love and relationships. I'm so honored and I would just love to know from you what actually made you start this brand called Sylvia's Art, which you're owning, and I'm sure it's doing wonders around the globe. And I'm actually honored to have you on my seat because I'm a biggest fan of yours. So how would you state that how did you start the Sylvia's Arts and what is the one reason that made you think that this is it that drives you for the life?
Thank you, Gurleen. It's a pleasure to be there on this show. And thank you, Shrishti, for the wonderful intro. Um, about art and about starting Sylvia's, I, as a child, I was inspired by Neek Chand, who's a great upcycler. And my second inspiration is my mother, who's been also upcycling at our farm and home. So I've been, looking around things, and art has been always just a link. And that's how I did several jobs into corporate sector. But art had always a calling. And my kind of art, what I do is more about upcycling and
Wonderful.
making the old things new. It's about sustainability. And
Okay.
Sylvia's came into picture with a calling for a reason that there are not many people who are, especially in North India, who are doing upcycling, or not uh, having the forte to bring out old materials. If we have
Wonderful.
teak or sagwan furniture at our
Yes.
places,
Sure.
those are
Sure.
generations which have passed through. But
Yeah.
this kind of generation has just a swing to bring in the new one throughout the old. So I had a lot of old material at my place and my farmhouse and stuff like that. And we just had the idea that why not just
True.
revive it and upcycle it. And that's how
True.
Sylvia's came into picture. And it did not
Wow.
start with an idea of a business, but the
Okay.
response I got per se for upcycling a bottle. Like if I show you a particular piece of mine, a bottle like this.
Wow.
So this is a liquor bottle, and this is now a lamp. If
Wow,
I'll just focus. So this has
fantastic.
my logo, and this is a
Yeah.
lamp. So we upcycle a lot of stuff, and then this just it started with a hobby, it turned into profession, and now we have a full running studio where we host classes. We invite people to come and bring in old materials. We upcycle for them, and we
Oh,
hold
wow.
parties for upcycling.
That's
So it's
that's
a
wonderful.
great turnaround. Yes, thank you. In the
And
last 3 years,
oh my God, that's last 3 years
yeah,
you're continuing with your brand, and I'm sure that it must have taken
yeah,
you to places, Rupneet. So, being an artist,
yeah,
do you really feel that art brings that form of expression of all the emotions as a human? Because I believe that,
yeah,
the largest of the artworks depict a lot about the human mind and the human behavior.
yeah,
So, being a
yeah,
psychologist, I would love to know that when you pick up the brush, do you really feel that magic that you have to weave a story and people really understand what you are doing, because very few people buy things with a grace that they know what they are buying, and there are many people who just
right,
buy for the race or for the crowd of madness for attaining materialistic possessions in the house. I'm sure you must be getting those clients who are appreciating the thoughts behind
yeah,
that work which you are doing. So, being a
yes,
psychologist
yes.
myself, I would love to have your artwork at my place, which I stated well before the conversation
That'll
started.
be a
But
pleasure.
then,
Yeah,
yeah, but then I would just love to know that have you ever come across such souls who are coming out openly and telling you that, Rupneet, your artwork changed our life? Because there is a lot of positivity coming along with the artwork as well. So,
yes,
what actually do you feel? Do you feel satisfied within your work area? Because that's what I want to know. That many artists are likely to be falling in depression. That's what majority of the studies do, showcase. But somewhere I feel that
yeah,
it is underrated. It is not out there in the public as it should be. What is your
yeah,
take on it, Rupneet? I would love to know the soul behind a beautiful artwork and many artworks.
yeah. So during this last 3 years into making this hobby as a profession, I would say that I've come around different kind of experiences with respect to customers and students and likewise. But it has, from a vicious cycle, it has become a virtuous cycle. When I see that there is a lot of positivity in terms of communication and
Yeah.
how my clients now learn and see the things which I see. Like if I am a very
Wow.
calm person, my when I get onto the canvas or the brush or whatever I'm upcycling, be it a bottle or be it an old piece of furniture, my brush would reflect my thoughts into it. Or if my client, supposedly one of the most emotional orders which I get, and I get often, is we upcycle trunks. Like for your
Oh,
international audience, I would say that those are metallic boxes which we as
okay.
Indian household had them, are passed from generations. So those have a very emotional value attached. Like the ladies they bring out to us, they belong to their mothers. So they want to
Okay.
preserve them and want to carry that legacy on. So they would put their mother's pictures onto it, or their names, or their date of birth. So it's
Fantastic.
like the entire this brings a lot of enthusiasm, and it teaches you to take care of yourself and value those emotions and
True.
preserve art and preserve the materials. So it's like a communication, like a turnaround. So I always say that to do what you love is freedom, but to
Wonderful.
love what you do is happiness. So it actually
True.
gives you a lot of happiness, and it gives you a sense of purpose. But art is
Yes.
also a therapy. So when the
Yes.
students come to me, it's a complete therapeutic experience for them. They learn, they communicate, they self express, and it has been a very, very insightful and a turnaround experience. That's why I called it a virtuous cycle. And
That's so true.
yeah,
That life is a vicious cycle as well. And I truly believe that whatever
yeah,
you do on this earth has to pay back.
yeah,
You have to pay back those karmic actions which you have done, karmic deeds which you are doing. And I'm so sure
yeah,
that being an artistic soul, Rupneet, you are
yeah,
actually creating wonders with not only your thoughts, but you're inspiring the
yeah,
souls who are buying that product and actually bringing in a lot of satisfaction in their house and in their mind itself. Because I do believe
yeah,
that creative souls, they create a different magic that nobody will understand till they feel it or till they have the thoughts that create that much of positivity and the vibes that they carry forward, and it just spreads like a fragrance. I'm sure that you are feeling it and I'm feeling it because we are connected today on this show. So apart
yeah.
from that, do you believe that, because you've talked about a word named freedom, so I would love to know, being an artist, do you feel that you are psychologically having that freedom to express every inch of the thought in every arena on the canvas, or are you facing some troubles when people let you know that okay, this is the choice that we would love you to splash your brush on, or on the canvas with the colors you can play? So there are certain topics like sex sensuality where I'm sure that I don't know whether you worked on it or you are planning to work on it. Because I talk about bold topics, I would love to ask you,
Yeah.
are there clients who come up with such certain topics that need your attention, that needs your brush to paint for them? And do you believe that that amount of psychological freedom is necessary for greater artwork?
Yes, to answer your question in particular, as of now, this still is a taboo in India. So I
True,
haven't had many such, orders per se with respect to only this subject. But
true,
yes, if I get an order with respect to any kind of craft initially, when I just started
true,
off, even I
true,
was learning and I have evolved through art. So at the beginning, I was stuck when the client gave me that I need only this kind of, and it kind of, there was an inhibition attached to even my framework of mine. But gradually, as I evolved and I learned through the process,
true,
so there was a refashion of the life project, so that it brings the entire happiness. So now, be it any topic, so particularly it be related to sex, or it be related to freedom, or expressing yourself, or understanding what the customer wants to convey. Sometimes they would have a certain topic or an imagination which they cannot convey. So bringing
true,
it on the canvas is really, really important. And art brings you joy and those little
true,
happiness when you see their faces that they are happy.
true,
That is actually the real satisfaction, and it's a lot of gratification as well.
true, true, true.
And
So, so do you
when
really
I
believe, cutting you short here, do you really believe that gratification comes with more of the pieces of your work being sold rather than you feeling satisfied yourself? Does quality matter to you or does quantity matter to you, Rupneet?
I am more of a qualitative person, so I believe in working on one order rather than 10 orders, because
True,
the customer satisfaction matters the most to me. And when he's satisfied, I am the one who's the happiest. That brings the true happiness. And
true,
answering your earlier question, I wanted to continue that when I started this art, it is
true.
about, carpenting and about furniture upcycling. No, this is also taboo in India, that
Yes,
only and only the people who paint on walls or the carpenters, they have to do it, and women or girls cannot go. So when
not
I
yes,
went to these lumber yards or the paint shops in the local market, they would think that मैडम का कारपेंटर या पेंटर साथ में आएगा, ये तो आए हैं
true,
गाड़ी में. That kind
true,
of taboo. Or my neighbor
true,
would think that what is the work she is doing. So but we all as women have to bring a change around. And I also have started a group where we as a community paint furniture or do some carpenting stuff. And there are a lot of inhibitions and taboos attached to this craft, but gradually we can make a change. And I'm sure you are doing a wonderful job at this platform, bringing a change
Thanks,
around.
Rupneet. Yeah.
And
Because I totally
likewise,
believe that, yeah, totally believe that women like you are bringing in a difference, and I have been following you, and I really feel that the honor that is coming through people who are coming on the love seat, they keep asking me, are you picking your people who, selectively by, weaving a story that, okay, you are choosing someone based on a quantum of relations questions and all that stuff, wherein I feel that nothing like that. I totally feel drawn to people who are genuinely creating magic with their work. So when I
that's
saw
right.
you and I
Yes,
saw your poster with Magica, in association with Magica, you were doing something, and I felt like, okay, maybe in the future we are creating magic on Deep Talks, because I do believe you dream, and it gets to a level if you only implement in your behavior. Because there are some people
yes,
who dream, but there are some people who have that perseverance to actually make it happen, and somewhere majority of the people are stuck up by not even expressing, whether it's communication, whether it's art, or whether it's anything in life that I talk about, whether it's a divorce that I went and I had it as a story inspiring many other ladies, whether it's talking boldly about sex, which is overrated in India, obviously, for obvious reasons. And there are many other things as a psychologist, which I would love to bring it out on this show. So that's the reason why Deep Talks is named Deep Talks, because they are talks that are behind the achievements of a person who should be known very
yes,
well by the public, because that is what you are. The truest sense of it is kings, queens, and everybody, they have to go in the mud in the end, like the game of the chess. And I totally believe we are all
yes,
equal. The only thing that is lacking in us is the potential to realize, the insight to realize the our inner potential, which is always there. And we all are unique in our own ways. We just need to have
yes,
an eye-opening mechanism. And with you,
exactly.
I've always
Yes,
felt very positively connected, Rupneet, and your name states it. Rupneet, and I'm
thank
sure
you.
that you know the meaning of your name, and that's why you are so pleasant and calm. So, apart from that, I
Thank
would
you.
love to know, and our viewers would love to know, Rupneet, uh, one artwork of yours that's very close to your heart, and what made you make that? I'm sure there must be many pieces of your art, but there could be some one or two or selected pieces that would have come up at a stage in your life where you felt, oh my God, I could not have attained this happiness while doing this. So we would love to know the experience behind it.
Yeah. So for me, every art piece is becomes my new favorite. That's what I always say, because each piece I make is like I always put my heart and soul into it. But that being said, like I already mentioned, that when I get orders from women who associate or they have an association with their parents, or it's passed from generations to generation. Some pieces come from Pakistan, and they have a
Wow.
lot of sentimental and emotional value attached to them. One of my clients had a very big cabinet which she brought from Sri Lanka, which was her
Oh,
grandfather's. And they have preserved it and want us to preserve it and upcycle it in a way that it can go to next generations of theirs. So
stupendous. This
those
is a
kind
fantastic.
of, yes, yeah. So they bring us a lot of joy, not only to us but to their families, and a lot of sentimental value which is attached to it. So we are very glad that through this platform, which we never imagined would bring such a turnaround and bring happiness and joy to the homes where the products go to. So this
True,
particular
true,
order uh, made the woman cry. Literally, she was in tears. And that is always a special memory for me.
true,
And it would
true.
always remain, because we as artists try to, we always tend to get emotional when we
True.
create art and associate each product with the person who is bringing out to us. Also, I get a lot of orders from children.
Wonderful.
Somehow, you know, there is a catapult, or the universe attracts kind of thing.
I
So
totally agree.
so the children are very, very, we get to learn from them, and they're very
True.
creative. So they ask for orders, customized orders with their pictures or their mom's pictures or whatever is in their mind. And they're very creative. So those kind of special little orders are also very special. Like,
Yeah, I
मेरी
totally
mama का
agree.
birthday आ रहा है. So there's another community with kids and NGOs where we work with. So
Wonderful.
each order or each item we make for them, that is indeed special.
I totally agree on that. There's so many people who have joined us. There's Khyati Hakani. She has mentioned you are looking so pretty as your soul is, Rupneet. She has complimented you for that. There is a visually impaired
Thank
soul
you,
and my
Kathy.
best friend Gargi Haldar saying hello to both of us. There is Mudit Chawla from Delhi saying hello. A very good evening, Mudit.
Hello, Mother.
And there is Khyati wanting to say that very inspiring, Rupneet. Absolutely true for whatever you have mentioned on Deep Talks,
Thank
and
you,
she has
Kathy.
appreciated me as well by saying very well said, Gurleen, about Rupneet. And then there is Ramit Vachair who said, hello ma'am, nice to see both of you. Khayati has put
Hello.
in a request. Can you show us the picture of artwork that you are talking of? I don't know, maybe the trunk thing or something like that. I don't know, maybe it is possible for her to show Khayati because she's seated on the chair and maybe it is not
Yeah.
right now feasible enough for
The piece is actually with the client now, but I would
yeah,
have a
exactly.
picture which I can load it on the chat once
On the
we.
chat, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
Khyati, your question would be answered. We will have Rupneet showcasing the picture. I'll put it on my Facebook page and Hello Conversations page. So she has said, or I think if I'm not wrong, the gender is she. No worries.
yeah,
That's right. Thanks a lot for understanding us and giving us the leeway to offer you the insight into her artwork. So I'm so amazed that there are people who will watch us and will be watching us, and I'm sure that the love that they are throwing on us is going to be carrying forward into many more artworks that Rupneet is going to be making. And I'm sure the orders can keep coming from any corner of the globe. And if they want to connect to Rupneet, they can always fall back to me, and I might as well let her know about it, because this is something that is intended to bring in a lot of love, joy, and it's a month of love. Who would not love to have an art piece at their house? I'm sure that people would be loving to even have those artistic pieces of love. So, Rupneet, talking about it, I would love to know, apart from the good side of yours, what are the weaknesses that you're having in your life, and what do you dislike? Plus, what is that one failure in your life that taught you that learning is an eternal process and one needs to just buck up and pull up the socks and work more to achieve a little bit of more than what we are having? So I'm sure that everybody goes through ups and downs, and you must have had your fair share of struggles. So would you love to, on this
yeah,
show, talk about something that our viewers would love to listen to, and I personally would love to know more about you as a person?
yeah. So life is all about ups and downs and lots of learnings, and uh, each each experience we go through brings us, be it good or bad, brings us a lot of learning experiences. So um, I would say, learning to criticize without being expressive is what I'm currently working on, without getting a lot of aggressiveness bringing into it. And
True.
there have been many gratification experiences when I combine them with concrete gratification. And when I mentioned earlier about making the vicious cycle into a virtuous cycle. So
Yes.
whatever, every everyday experiences, be it good or bad, we could, make a turnaround, just looking at the brighter side of life, looking at the little joys in life. And the bigger experiences I have had through, we all go through a lot of experiences. So it
True,
is
true.
just how our perspective changes as we grow through them. And
True.
while going through them, we all grow through them. So when I say that
Wonderful.
I have, yeah, so I have, uh, being on the creative side, I've made it constructive. And when
True.
I say that it is about ability to bounce back with the same
Wow.
self-esteem which you had before. And I
True.
always follow the SMART objective. I have made it for myself. Like, um, when I say it's a SMART objective, I go to define it by being specific, being
That's nice.
measurable, having
That's
attainable, and then being it real and fixing a timeline to it. So that's
true.
how I design it. And each phase, whatever challenge come across, having a good perspective and following that SMART objective changes the perspective. So again, making it
I'm
a
sure.
virtuous way. Yeah,
I'm sure. So, as a lady, as a woman, managing the household chores and managing the work that you are having and placing the
yeah.
orders from making the orders, how are you managing and balancing the same? Our viewers would love to have some tips on maintaining the personal and the professional life, and as well as maintaining a healthy relationship, because this show talks about people who would love to understand how a person can manage the work and the personal life as well as their own experiences, what goes into making their relationship healthy. Because I believe that if you have a great personal life, you tend to express more in the professional sphere as well, and it is more productive. Wherein, because as a psychologist, I keep coming across souls who do not know how to manage their IQ and EQ. They can't balance it up, and they tend to falter in just copying and imitating the people on the real self, like real world. So in the real world, we need to be knowing the art of flexibility, as well as not only catering to the academic achievements, but to the real experiences of life, wherein they don't lose the hope, but they stick on to some magic that is still there in a relation. Because during the hard times, people forget to look into their good experiences as well. Sometimes for them it's difficult, and because we are ladies, we undergo a lot of phases of hormonal changes, which is quite natural, and some men do not understand that. But as a woman, I'm
Yeah.
sure that you have met certain ladies who are trying hard to become an artist at par as you are. So, how has your journey been? Was it easy for your husband to express that, yes, Rupneet, you carry forward with your work? I'm sure you are lucky enough, and I wish every girl is lucky to get into the profession she deserves to be in, despite the factors that there are some external factors in life that do not let you carry
Yeah.
forward and grow. And I totally respect those souls who are not getting the opportunities to either be on my show or be elsewhere in their
Yeah.
passionate field. But I would love people to know and understand that there is no age to start learning. Anyone at any particular age
Exactly.
can start from there, and learning is eternal. So I would love to know, Rupneet, your little bit of tips for healthy relationship. Apart from that, your experience as a homemaker and as a woman of substance doing this artwork.
Yeah, so my family per se has been very, very supportive in this measure, and I'm very glad and thankful for this. That each little order I get, the entire family supports me. They give me time to work on it, be it a deadline or not. But about making a work-life balance, yes, I'm more productive at night. Like during this time, we are having a good chat. Um,
Wow.
the fairer sex per se, I have had students, and I'm lucky that I have the opportunity to teach uh, people who are 60, 65 years of age and are,
Wow.
who have had menopausal issues as well.
Yes,
and they're going through tougher times, and they need a creative form of expression. And through art as a medium, because what we do is upcycling and a form of different arts, which are French arts, which are easier to follow. So
true,
those kind of women as groups we are associated with, and it brings a lot of therapeutic experience to them. They are able to express themselves via this medium, and they get time for themselves through that difficult mode of running the household chores. They are able to give themselves at least 1 hour a day, not during the day, then at night. And we as community are open and convenient to the timelines, if whatever,
true,
whenever it is suitable to them. And I think during the pandemic especially, there have
true.
been a lot of ups and downs with the fairer sex, but
Yes,
it has also brought out the creative aspects of people. They are making sustainable choices, and their families have also been supportive. So we have formed Sylvia's Creative School, where we teach
wow,
to group of people, to group of kids, likewise. And it has been a beautiful experience learning from them what are their day-to-day problems, and how do we tackle to them, and how we put them aside and give us our own creative time, so that we are able to bring out what we could not do during managing children or raising children, or serving the family. So me time is very important.
very
And
important.
maybe I'm very glad that via this medium I am able to make those little wiser choices and help them just grow and find peace with themselves. So
That's so well
it
rightly
is,
put forward, Rupneet. It is so awesome to hear such words that are coming in from your soul because they are so true and they're so genuine. Because I connect to you on the score that there are ladies who face issues and it's a tough time because at that age,
yeah,
they need that unconditional love and support of the opposite sex as well as all others around. And what better a way to
yes,
start
yes, of
something
course.
for the kids and for them, a school that you have started. I'm sure that it must be creating wonders in their mindset for engaging their mindset in such productive work as you are doing. And it is wonderful because not everybody thinks about the others, and the concept of having me time, which you have talked about, is raising the bar of me as a psychologist, because that is something that I always tell ladies and all others, that please follow your routine as per how much your body can take. Sometimes you
Yeah,
reach that saturation level and you feel that no, you need to work more, you need to work more, and then you tend to exhaust your
yeah,
body to a level, and then the recoup time is even more because you
yeah,
need to have a balance. We need to know the limit. We need not to cross the limit to attain success that is actually madness. So the race to earn more money has left people dry. Now, when I
yeah,
say this, I want to point out the question to you, that do you think attaining materialistic things is the only way to happiness, or to you, the definition of happiness is somewhere related to both the needs of having money as well as having the gratification that you are talking well in the episode. I have heard you say this gratification word, so our viewers would love to know what is it that actually brings in a lot of joys in life, because making someone smile is the toughest task, I believe. Like being a
yeah.
psychologist, when
True
people
that.
come to
Yeah,
I feel that if you can put a smile on someone's face, it's not easy by offering a chocolate or by letting them know that love is going to come into your life when they're broken. I believe that
yeah,
pointing out things in a very, very nice manner, in a way where they get some engagement of their thoughts that are productive at that point of time, apart from the negativity they're
yeah,
having, would actually raise the bar to a level, and not being coercive, not being forceful enough so that they leave the table and they walk away. So that is what I do, and I build the rapport. So I'm sure that I built the rapport with you also on this show, because somewhere, if you are
Of
not
course.
contented
Yes.
today with this conversation, how would I be happy that you are here and we are having a conversation? Because it's a conversation that is going to grow into many more conversations, and people can exhaust their drinks, but I think a conversation is always forever in the mind, and it carries forward an
Yes.
eternal process of learning. So I would love to know,
Yeah.
Rupneet, more on this, what I've asked you. And I believe that this is an honest confession on this episode, that people like you are raising the bar by being here and taking out your precious time during these hours where the creative souls
Thank
are
you.
already experiencing joy. And I'm sure the ones who will be watching us will be creating wonders, because somewhere they will connect to us on that level.
Yeah. So to this I say that the Gurdas Maan ji's quote, it is like choti choti khushi khushhali ban jandi hai, diva diva baliye diwali ban jandi hai.
Diwali ban
So
jati hai.
that
Wow.
how, so it just says that little joys and little things of happiness, like those little kids come to me and they say that hame mama ke liye ye chahiye. So they come from efforts, and great joys, they of course come from heaven, but little
True.
joys, they come from our little efforts. If you ask someone, did you have your coffee, or how are you feeling today, that is what they makes their day. Not
True.
did you buy this thing, or what phone are you owning, or it has,
True.
art has changed my perspective per se. This glass which I'm using, so I have turned towards sustainability using a copper glass. Earlier,
Wow.
I used to be a brand freak, but now I am on the wiser choices. So those
Wow.
little things, which earlier brought me happiness, are no more
No more
important.
there.
They do not serve any relevance. But yes, these things, these little things bring a lot of joy and satisfaction.
True.
And again, I come to the same thing, that our experiences in life, be it good or bad, teach us the value of uh, like of valuing, and having a constructive feedback to ourselves, that what values in the long run. So making wiser
True.
choices and
True.
walking the talk and
True.
having those little joys of happiness are
True.
the true importance.
True. So, Rupneet, there is one question from Khyati, that was there
Yes.
any turning point in your life that changed you and led you towards hard work? Would you love to
Up
answer?
to, yes, could you please repeat the question again?
That was there any turning point in your life that changed
Yeah.
you and led you towards hard work?
Ha- uh, Towards hard work, I have always believed in hard work. There is no substitute to hard work. And there have been many turning points in my life. Every aspect in our life brings around a turning point. And yes, we always work towards our betterment. Each experience, be it little or big, brings a
True.
change. So I always believe that I have faith and trust in the shared knowledge, be it
True.
with the students, be it in my work, be it in upcycling, and the unconditional support which I have had always. So the people I have helped and are more of a family now, and these kind of experiences build us up, and also they sometimes break us down, but that is what the real experience is, and it makes us grow and evolve as a person.
True. True.
So no
So,
particular
so Rupneet,
experience as such.
yeah, this beautiful conversation is about to end in another 10 minutes, but I would love to carry it forward with a personal connect. And I'm so sure that you are enjoying this conversation as much as I am, with the viewers who are
Absolutely.
popping in and the ones who will be watching us later obviously will take on something from you. And I'm sure the takeaways are much better, because when you are actually relaxed in the night and you are just winding up your work, majority of them and the creative souls who are alive with their brush or with their kind of work, I'm sure they would be having some time out for watching. So do you think that media has impacted the artwork in a positive manner? I would love to know, because as an artist, till the art is seen, it cannot be bought and it cannot be understood. I totally agree with it. There are people who
Yeah,
say media is bad, but then the pros and cons of every profession are very much there. So
yeah,
being there on this virtual platform has affected me as a person. I have transformed because I have come to know more of myself, that I am a great host to many people.
correct.
I can make people
Yeah,
comfortable. So that is the views that I gained, and the knowledge that I shared actually doubled with the pleasure when they were saying that this is something different. You are talking something that none other talks. We all talk about
yeah,
materialist possessions, we all talk about acknowledged achievements, but here something we
yeah,
are talking is something coming in from the heart, and we feel it
right.
coming alive when you are asking questions, because it's flawless. So the amount of love people are sharing makes me wonder that, are they deprived of the love that they are actually wanting, that attention from certain kind of platforms, where Deep Talks is one such platform, where we are not only giving unconditional love, but support to the self esteem and a boost to the confidence, where people are just sitting in the room and deciding what next should they do, or where should they start from asking help. So I would love to know, what is that thing or that thought in your mind when you hear the word media? Also, is it really positive for you? Do you think media is affecting the artists a lot and actually is bringing a lot of productive work? And the next question would be related to feminism. What do you think about feminism, and why do you think the feminism should be a little bit more towards productive side and positive side, rather than raising the slogans and just opposing the opposite sex?
Right. So, uh, I'll take your first question. It
True.
was, could you just repeat that?
The first question was related to media. Do you think that media
Yeah,
is
the
portraying the
social
artwork
media.
in a positive and productive manner? And do you think that it
Yeah,
has affected your growth as well?
yeah. So media per se has its pros and cons, but yes, during these times, especially the last year, how it went by, when I said we started Sylvia's Creative School,
True,
or the workshops with kids, it has media is what has connected us all souls together, be it
true,
on all international platforms as well. And it has been it it has its negative sides as well, but that goes with every aspect of life. So
true.
uh, and we say that there are copyright measures involved in art, or but for me it's like we all copy or get inspired from each other. So
True.
these kind of media is a blessing in disguise during these times when it has kept the entire world connected. Like somebody started, many of my friends, they started their own baking schools, or they
Wonderful.
started, yeah. So it has brought out the hidden talents during the recent times. So I take it as it has grown my business exponentially. And we, through Vanity Fair, we connect via media, like you
Yes.
mentioned earlier about Vanity Fair.
True,
Or
true,
there, Magica is another platform, which is a women-centric platform, which is also media-centric. Likewise, we as women have made a difference on an international platform only via this media. I have had a chance to work with international brands, which are art
Wow.
related brands, and represent my art on various global platforms. So it is a blessing for us. And
True.
likewise, like you are making wonders via these deep talks, and I've seen you host various talk shows
Thanks. Honor. It's an
with
honor.
uh, yeah. So it is very very important. And also, if we talk about kids, especially in North India, they
True.
you see them on gadgets. And
True.
during our times, we used to go out and play and
Play.
have a lot of
True.
playtime or read a lot of books. That has vanished. But during these times, especially the last pandemic, we have had workshops with kids. We have had virtual sessions where if they
True.
are using the gadget, it is not for the games, but it is for doing something constructive. So that also
True.
has brought a change around. So if the kid does not eat, or the parents give them the phone so that they eat while watching the video, that is what needs to be changed. But
That
otherwise,
sentence. Yeah.
I
Truly,
take it,
truly.
yeah,
Truly. There
as,
is one question
as
by Gargi Halder. She is visually impaired and a beautiful soul typing in, though it takes a little bit more time for her to type, but she has put in a question, and I know that you would love to answer her. So she's saying, do
yes,
you feel
Gargi.
that music and art are connected? And if yes, then how do you see this connection? I mean, does music, do you feel that music is related to art? That's what she's asking, maybe.
Yes, music is also a form of art, and art in itself has a plethora of forms and various,
True.
streams to choose from. Likewise, it goes with music. But yes, it runs hand in hand. I mean, what you see is what you hear, and what you hear is what you see.
True.
And both of these things, aspects, they're bigger aspects of life. They are beyond, mine and uh, your comprehension. They connect the souls together. And
True. True.
the beauty of them
Yeah.
comes when you put them on canvas, or sometimes when you're in a low mood, you put something peppy, or when you want to calm down, you would,
True.
I would just put on my canvas and put a calming music, and it brings out a lot of beauty. Maybe what I am trying to portray, but it's not in my mind. The music would bring it on the canvas. So yes,
It
they
goes
are
hand in
connected.
hand. True. True.
Yes,
True.
yes,
I totally agree with
yes,
Rupneet, and I hope, Kargi Halder, your question is rightfully answered, because everything in life, I believe, has art. Even love and sex and, love making is also an art. And the month of February, we feel we are here with such a beautiful soul talking about her life experiences and her work of art, which is fantastic for Deep Talks, because I personally do not pick and choose people, but I believe that Lord has his way of designing this art of life that is telling me that every walk is important and every soul is important, and every soul doing a wonderful work needs to be here on the love seat with Miss Gurleen, because I believe that I am the one who's marching ahead with an optimistic approach towards life and bringing in the quality wherein others are just talking about it and not implementing in their behavior. So, if I can touch one soul through this conversation, I'm sure they would be coming up to feel that life is lived in every moment. There is no point hanging on to the
true that.
sorrows, my dear. And I'm sure that the ones who are in that position, they need to ask for assistance. And in case if anyone has any query, can always pop in a question or their queries, or for any sessions for counseling, they can always fall back on gurleenkhokhar@gmail.com. I'm sure that you will get the help that you require. And also to all the ladies who will be watching this episode, believe that every woman has the power to think that they can achieve those thoughts which can drive them to the level of satisfaction that they haven't got till now. No amount of barrier or hesitation can mar the success if a lady is determined and willing enough to just sail through the storm. And I'm sure God has created women for a purpose on this planet. They are soft hearted, they know the emotions, they know the work of art even more than the other gender. And I'm sure that all the ones who will be watching this conversation, they will be getting the clues into where they need to find out within themselves where are they losing on and where they can gain from. Everyone is not honest enough on this planet, but myself, being an honest soul walking this planet, would always have someone who's sitting next to me, being an honest person, confessing. And it takes a lot of confidence, my dear friends, a lot of courage, grit, and wisdom to be here on the love seat and give their precious valuable time. And we must respect that, because as citizens of India, we are doing great work, and I hope that you forward this episode if you really love it, and you also raise the bar by being a citizen of India, and not only that, being responsible enough for every action of your life speaks volumes, as Rupneet is doing. I'm sure that she's enlightened with this conversation as I am. So before we end up this
Likewise.
conversation, I'm sure that I would love to let you have this lovable moments of asking you, was your marriage an arranged or a love marriage? And what is that one moment that drives you to the point of feeling loved with your beloved?
Uh, of love and relationships, they go hand in hand, and it takes an effort every single day to
True,
keep it going, be it any relationship, your parents,
true,
your grandparents, your spouse. So
true,
to keep it going, there it takes a lot of effort every single day, and it's more about understanding, it's more about
true,
having good communication and
true,
being open about what we uh, expect from each other, and try to meet those expectations. But for me, as a person, communication is the key,
true,
and it always breaks all the barriers and
true,
beat any kind of relationship. So
true.
it
So
takes a real commitment. So energy creates synergy, and
true.
communication creates a bigger synergy into the relationships.
That's
And
wonderful. That's so
yeah,
nice. That's wonderfully
so I
stated by
always
you.
say that make your life a project and have a commitment onto it, and make sure that you properly fit into that commitment and beat
Wow.
any relationship. So
That's
it needs
that's
to,
so well put forward by you. Life is a project, and I think I'm working on it, Rupneet, with you as well. And I'm sure
we
that this
all
month of
are. And
not be devoid of the love coming in from your side. I'm sure that I'm not going to have a artistic piece coming in for free. I'm sure that you would be charging me money. But then, but then I would love to have that artwork specially customized for me, and I'm sure my viewers, that is going to lit
we
my
love
life
to
up.
do that to you.
I'm sure that the love I'm looking for in life would walk into my life or could be already in my life, but I feel that a smile is always there when you think more positive. And while ending this
Yeah,
conversation, I believe that this end is not end, it's just a beginning of another life and another episode, another thing that's always there, that there is a full stop but there is a comma, and then there are other things. So before the story ends of life, I believe that you all should be doing great work and think positive, because who knows, tomorrow you are there on the love seat with me. And last question, Rupneet, the message for the host and a message in the month of love for the lovers around who are falling in love, and I believe in rising in love. Though the ones who believe in the sentence of falling in love, for them a message, and the ones who would be wanting to have some kind of a positive note from your side, because this conversation is about to end, and I'm sure that you must be having something special for the viewers. And how can they just connect to you? Your website and your email, you can just mention it, and then I can splash it later on the Facebook page as well.
sure. I'll do the needful. I'll send you the details which can be flashed over.
True,
And
true.
thank you so much for having me on this wonderful
God
platform.
bless
You
you,
have
Rupneet.
been, thank you. You've been doing such a commendable job. I've seen you do projects in Soch Ki Udan from, I've heard
Yes,
some of your YouTube talks, and that is how we connected through a common friend. But this,
true,
as you said rightly, it's the very beginning. And
true,
this love month, and be it a month and year, and you know,
true,
it brings great joys. And we are what we repeat over and over. And universe conspires to bring what we think in
true.
all together. We never knew 6 months back that this is how we would be connected, and I think we have a
Sure.
long time ahead
Yeah,
to
we have
go.
a long
And
connect. Yeah, true,
yeah,
true.
so
And I'm so sure the day I get married, I would be having that trunk which would be emotional and customized for me.
oh, look forward to that. So here we put it to the globe and to the universe, and it is going to be there, inshallah.
True, true, true. So one
Yeah.
last message for the viewers from Rupneet, because she is a crafts lady who is going to make a sensation with this episode, because I totally believe that the aura that she's carrying is stupendously so fabulous that I haven't felt so comfortable holding a guest on the love seat as today I felt. And she has been kind enough to
Thank
wait
you.
patiently for this
Honored.
episode, and I'm honored. And once again, I thank her for being here. And one last message for the viewers, Rupneet, from your side, one sentence that will spark their thoughts to keep your magic that you create alive.
Thank you again, Gurleen. I would, as I always say, that walk your talk, and when you love what you do, you don't have to work one single day in your life. So just if you want a change, change is just a door. Life is just like a hot air balloon. So if you just throw in whatever pushes you down, and l- just go with the hot air balloon, with whatever lifts you up, it's gonna keep
True.
going. So walk your talk, and all the best to all the viewers. Very glad to be connected with you, Gulleen. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you so much. And this was Deep Talks with Ms.Gurleen Khokhar, globally known soul. And I'm sure that you would stay tuned for tomorrow. We are having another soul, and day after as well. So it is three cheers for all of us. And I'm sure that these kind of episodes will keep rolling in. And if you have someone special who is doing great work, please connect to me. And I'm sure you will feel not bored, but enlightened enough to know that Deep Talks is not just another platform. It's platform for people who are working hard. Thanks a lot. Good night, dear friends. Bye bye.